the Baba Ijo of the Methodist Church in Africa. A man who is the Odole Oodua, is the Balogun of Remoland, the Ashoju Oba of Lagos, the Babalaje of Lagos, the Olotu of Lagos, the Akogun of Remoland, the Baba Shelu of Ondo, the Baba Oba of Noforija, the Baba Oba of Iberuland. Not many people in this world has MON, ON, and CON. Not many people are KJW. Not many people are FISM. Not many people are regarded as the Ashoju Oba of Lagos. He is a commander of the Order of the Niger. He is an officer of the Order of the Niger. He is KJW and FISM. Ladies and gentlemen, you did a standing ovation earlier. You don't need to do anyone anymore, but you have to help me now by giving a resounding applause to the daughter and, of course, to the man himself, the remarkable Dr.
Chief Adebukunla
Triple Chief,
affectionately known as Baba Ijebu, stands as one of Nigeria's most distinguished industrialists, visionary entrepreneurs, and legendary philanthropists. Born on October 24, 1935 in Iperu, Remo, his remarkable journey from humble beginnings to becoming a household name across Nigeria exemplifies the power of determination, vision, and unwavering commitment to excellence. Chief Adebutu's academic brilliance emerged early, completing his primary education at Ijeru Baptist School in Lagos before attending Baptist Academy and finishing at Remo Secondary School in Shagamu. His exceptional academic performance, topping his class in the School Living Certificate examination, foreshadowed the strategic mind that would later revolutionize Nigeria's gaming industry and establish an unparalleled legacy of educational philanthropy. After honing his business acumen at Classic Chemical Limited, where he rose from salesman to sales manager, Chief Adebutu demonstrated extraordinary entrepreneurial courage by establishing Premier Lotto Limited in 1963. This bold venture would transform him into the iconic Baba Ijebu, a name that resonates in every Nigerian household. Under his visionary leadership, Premier Lotto has evolved into a multi-million naira enterprise managed by seasoned professionals with over 4 decades of industry expertise, setting the gold standard for Nigeria's gaming industry. Chief Adebutu's philanthropic philosophy that a healthy and educated soul can never be hungry birthed the Kessington Adebukunla Adebutu Foundation, CAF, a transformative force touching countless lives across Nigeria. A cheerful and generous person, Chief Adebutu is a staunch believer in giving back to society. His philanthropic gestures are legendary, with donations of buildings and equipment to countless educational institutions in Nigeria. For example, he donated a state-of-the-art library to Kessington University, Abeokuta, in 2009. He also contributed a 50 million naira e-library to the Baptist Academy in Lagos and an ultra-modern center to the University of Lagos. Other notable donations include a multi-million naira radio station to Olabisi Onabanjo University, OOU, and the Alaja Seliat Adebutu Library at Kessington University. In 2008, he donated a new building to Remo Methodist High School and a new block of classrooms at Gaskia College. His generosity has also extended to the promotion of culture across Nigeria. In recognition of his invaluable contributions to the nation's economy, OOU awarded him an honorary Doctor of Business Administration title in October 2015. His charitable deeds earned him chieftaincy titles including Babalaje of Lagos and Asoju Oba of Lagos. Chief Dr. Adebutu's influence transcends business success. He embodies the spirit of transformational leadership, using his platform to uplift communities, empower youth, and strengthen Nigeria's educational infrastructure. His commitment to cultural promotion and societal development positions him as a true patriarch of progress. The Kessington Adebukunla Adebutu Foundation (CAF) proudly serves as the headline sponsor of the Ambassador Summit 7.0, continuing Chief Adebutu's legacy of nurturing leadership and excellence in Nigeria's next generation. Ambassadors, with a thunderous round of applause, join me as we welcome this titan of transformation, Chief Dr. Kessington Adebukunla Adebutu.
Ladies and gentlemen, the citation you heard is none other for and of the matchless KAAF himself. And ladies and gentlemen, at this time,
universe to honor our most valuable treasure, hidden quietly beneath the human skin. The sun danced at his arrival, the earth quaked at his step. The Adebutu marveled at his descendant, because wisdom effortlessly seated on his lips. Diligence couldn't breathe until he found abode within his palm. Equity, generosity have learned to beautifully represent themselves in every room that he steps in. Greatness has no gender in his core study, because he's a raiser of both alpha men and women, just like Pandoya. Men who sows innovations into global attire. He's a great warrior who doesn't just fight with weapons, but with vision, tenacity, intelligence, and love. He's not just a father by name or a great-grandfather. I tell you, he is a living epistle. I bet he was the picture Nigeria saw to name herself the giant of Africa, because he is a giant, hidden in a male body. And giant like him are the only one who dares to raise giant like this, who paints the universe with giant steps. He's a father every infant prays to have, if life was to be chosen twice. An encyclopedia of creativity, product. He's not just a man. I tell you, his name is not just a name. Opens men into wealth, into becoming architect that shapes the universe. And I tell you today that no philanthropist dares to wear this filler without tripping. And this ode is to no one else but to Chief Kessington Adebukunla Adebutu. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think for a man who exemplifies what we're doing here today, you should be giving him a more resounding round of applause. Now, let me say it in another way in case you did not get it. This is a man who, even at the age of 90, continues to put his weight behind leadership that works in this country. And not just in Nigeria. Sitting in this room, we are definitely enjoying the magnitude of his work, his passion, his legacy, his philanthropy. And I think that, again, if we ask you to do this 1,000 times, you will gladly oblige us. So, ladies and gentlemen, can you once again give Dr. Chief Adebukunla Adebutu Kessington a resounding round of applause? Thank you very much. And as we give him that honor, we are also very delighted to welcome on stage, because you already know that his presence is very much felt in our midst today, because we have his first daughter with us. And she will be addressing us right away, and we are going to give her as well the honor, the love, and of course the attention that we've given Baba, because she's representing him and she's bringing to us the goodwill and love from him. So please welcome with me the very gorgeous. Our presence is one that I can already feel in this room, and I know that our voice would also shake up something in you this morning. Lady Butu Olorade, a round of applause, please. You can do that. You can rise if you want to do that and make the applause continuous, resounding till she gets to the microphone. Thank you very much. Now, can you see that beauty, the gorgeousness?
Thank you very much. Good morning. Please be seated. Let me start by greeting the chairman of the occasion, Dr. Ayo Gunson, and his amiable wife. When you talk about humility, Dr. Ayo Gunson is very humble. You will know the different hats he wears, but I want to thank you on behalf of the state and Nigeria, what you do for the country. I will stand on all existing protocol because the protocol wasn't set, but I'll just stand on it. Where do I start for? I know you were expecting to say a man, but you see a woman. You're expecting to say Sir Dr. Kessington Adebukola Adebutu. I'm humbled when he called me and said I should represent him. Because when you're told to represent very big shoes, when I say very big shoes, where do you start from? But one thing that came to my mind was that for him to call me to represent him, some confidence in me, it means he believes he has deposited things over my life. And I believe that as you grow as youths, that's one of the major things you think. Not about yourself alone, but what have you deposited in the people surrounding you? So as a daughter that has been under the tutelage of Chief Dr. Sir Kessington Adebukola Adebutu, I'm his first daughter. I'll be 60 in January. So I've spent over 50 years of my life. I was born to him just after he turned 30 because he'll be 90 on October 24th. We're speaking to you as a father is speaking to the youth. There's some qualities and criteria that you must deposit in yourself for you to achieve the greatness. People believe that greatness comes as a mistake. Greatness is not a mistake. You have to be intentional about disciplines and pathway that makes you great. One of the very first things that my father taught me as we grew up is integrity. Your word is your bond. And as a daughter, my father would tell all his children, he has 12 children by the grace of God, 7 males and 5 females, that my name is very important to me. We've grown up with so many youths that do Yahoo business, 419 business. But your year should be your year and your name should be. All of you just going from day to day. You must be what I call intentional about where you want to be. I'll tell you a very small story. When I came back to Nigeria as a medical doctor, one of the very first things that I found that the health system was not where it should be then. That was the 90s. Even to have a chest x-ray was a challenge. Even Lutz x-ray was always broken down. And I always spoke to myself, I will have one of the best hospitals in Nigeria. And over the last years, close to 20 years, I was intentional. I was mapping a pathway. Look at yourself and say, what do I want to be in 10, 20 years' time? You must have a vision for yourself. And the Bible says, without vision, my people perish. A lot of our youth are just moving around from day to day, moving as the wind will blow them. They're influenced wrongly by peers. But that should be what you should do. The other thing also you should have is financial discipline. When I was in secondary school, my father used to give us 50 kobo per day. That was our allowance. And if you finish it, that's your business. So when we're going to boarding house, we'll be calculated the number of days we'll be in boarding house, and they will give you that money. Without financial discipline, you cannot reach anywhere in life. And I think that is very important as we go. Because people don't have a budget. They keep on spending, and that's where they run into wrong disciplines. You must believe in yourself. You must have the I can attitude. You must know that me as Abielo Lufunko Olorode, I can achieve what I want to achieve. Well, I'll tell you a too much story from my father. He said where everybody's jackpine, they believe that if you go abroad, that's the end of your solution. In their own stage also, there are a lot of people jackpine and going abroad. And he said, I'm not going anywhere. But by the time you come back, I'll have made my millions. The power of spoken word. They all went abroad. They came back. By the time they came back, he was richer than them. So sometimes you must be able to believe in yourself that you're able to achieve what you have to achieve. And there's a lot of money and there's a lot of greatness in Nigeria. Let me just stop there. I'm just giving my own words of wisdom. But I came on the platform of, I think as a father or a mother, I too should give some wisdom. But I'll now come and read the speech that I was giving him. But I believe that the preamble I've given you are some thoughts to take home from. So, and before I forget, there was one other major thing that the speaker, the MD of the First Bank, said before he left. You mustn't forget the God factor. As you work very hard, you water your work and everything with the power of prayer, which you ever believe you believe in. There is a God factor that directs everybody's paths. So let me start by reading the address of Sir Dr. I hope you clap for me now with all the words of wisdom I gave you free of charge. Let me now go on the address of Sir Dr. Kessington Adebukola Adebutu. I am honored and privileged to be his daughter. I'm honored and privileged to stand on this platform to represent him because it means that he has a lot of confidence in me. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, respected organization of this great summit, esteemed guests, young leaders, entrepreneurs, and the future of our beloved nation, I warmly greet you all. The future of our beloved nation. The future of our beloved nation. I am repeating that word. You are the future of Nigeria. You are a very key and strategic position to the greatness of Nigeria. And you must not forget that. And that means there's a lot of work that you must do as the youth of Nigeria. It is with immense gratitude and deep humility that I stand before you today. As the father of the day of this National Youth Leadership and Entrepreneurship Summit, I sincerely thank the organizers for this recognition, which I accept not just an individual honor, but as a tribute to the ideas of service, integrity, collective progress that I've always endeavored to uphold through my philanthropic efforts. Today, I see before me a room filled not just with young people, but with promise. With promise. There's a lot that the future holds for you. At the age of 60, 50, 70, 80, 90, there's not much we can do more. We're going towards the end state of our life. But 20, 30, the world is your oyster. And there's a lot of greatness that Nigerians can achieve. So there's a lot of promise we hold among the youth. A generation that holds in its hands the power to reshape Nigeria. Not through idle complaint or wishful thinking. As I tell you, don't wishful think. You have to be intentional. You have to set goals. You have to set objectives. You must have strategies on how you're going to achieve it. Sitting and saying that, I'm going to be a billionaire. It's not going to happen unless you work hard towards it. But through enterprise, innovation, leadership, and unity. The future of any nation lies in the strength of its youth. But strength is not defined by mere numbers of physical vigor. True strength lies in vision, in discipline, in the courage to rise from setbacks, and the wisdom to lead with empathy and purpose. As someone who has walked through the corridors of business, service, and philanthropy, let me offer you this. Whatever you do, let service to humanity be at the heart of your ambition. Wealth, when not used for the greater good, becomes a burden. But when used to uplift others, it becomes a blessing. Not just to the receiver, but to the giver. As we all know, the Holy Bible says, it is more blessed to give he that scattereth. Complete the sentence. So as you go down your road, leadership is not about titles or positions. It is about impact. Entrepreneurship is not merely about profit. It is about problem solving. And let me also make a statement on that. I always tell people, when you put making money ahead, it's more likely to success, to be failure. But when you put in front of you the spirit of excellence, and you want the best of your ability to come out, it usually comes with money. Ask anybody. Excellence spirit, excellent work. People are willing to pay anything for it. But when we do a lot of mediocrity and you put a lot of money, a high price on it, nobody will buy it. So let the spirit of excellence guide you in everything you do. Our nation building is not the responsibility of government alone. There's nowhere in the world where there's not PPP, public-private partnership. The government cannot do it all alone. The private sector plays a very key role. And so it is very important, we as individuals, to play a very key role in the nation building of Nigeria. It is the collective duty of every single citizen. I tell people, no matter how small you are, there's something you can contribute. You know, some people say that there's a lot of problems. But you know, the problem starts with the individual, the problem starts with the family, and the problem starts with the community. So if the individual starts to make a difference, there's a ripple effect. So in your own sphere of influence, there's a lot you can do, and there's a lot that you can make to make our great nation Nigeria to be what it used to be. To the youth gathered here, I urge you, dream boldly, but plan wisely. You must have great visions. You must have big visions, but you must plan wisely. You must have a pathway to your visions. You can dream big. I'm going to have a big jet. But you sit and you're sleeping from morning to night. It will not help you. You must start small, but think big. Embrace integrity, for it will outlive every short-term gain. And above all, never lose your sense of responsibility to others. Nigeria needs you now, not tomorrow. The difference we can make starts at this moment. And the world is watching, waiting what this rising generation will do. We say there's an adolescent bulge. The highest number of Nigerians are within the adolescent and the young people we have in Nigeria. And those are the people that can make the difference. It will do with the immense talent and potential it carries. As a father will do, I offer you my blessings. That's on side, Dr. Kessington Putu. My encouragement and my faith. I may belong to an earlier generation, but my hope lies in yours. Go forth and build not just businesses, but legacies. Not just movements, but meaningful changes. Let this summit mark not just a gathering, but a turning point. The baton is being passed. Receive it with both hands and run your race with honor. I thank once again the organizers for the privilege provided by making me the father of the day at this all-important summit. My profuse thanks to the audience and, of course, to our youth, believing that we will all make this summit to worth the while. God bless you all, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. With sincere regards, Sir Dr. Kessington Adebukola Adebutu, ON, CON, CFR, KJW, LGPS, FISM, FINNG, the pillar of Methodism in Nigeria, and Odele Odua of the Source. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think you can definitely give a standing ovation after such an amazing message brought to you by Chief Dr. Sir Kessington. Ladies and gentlemen, make the applause louder. If you want to scream, you can go ahead in celebration. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. We are so blessed to have received such a charge, such a message from a leader himself through his very beautiful daughter. And I must say that if there's one thing I want to resound at this moment, it is the fact that you must dream and you must also plan as well. So say to someone beside you, say to another ambassador around you, tell them you must dream and you must plan well. No, you're not sure. Tell them again, you must dream and you must plan well. If you want to search, you must ensure that you dream and you plan well. And that's such a beautiful message brought to us this very beautiful morning. And we're so thankful. We are very thankful. Ladies and gentlemen, there is definitely so much more coming today. As we've told you earlier on, we have royalty in our midst. We have distinguished personalities in our midst. And we're about to quickly recognize some of them before we continue with the next thing on our agenda. We are so blessed to have in our midst at this time. You know, in my language, Yoruba, we would say Oriade, and that's talking about royalty. I would love for you to please give a special welcome, a round of applause, and the cheer that would come from inside of you this morning, as we definitely give a resounding recognition to His Royal Majesty Oba Dr. Ibrahim Olasokomi Lawal Bello. Ladies and gentlemen, is our Royal Father of the Day and is ably represented here this morning by High Chief Dr. Ajibade Oyayeye Are Akirogun of Isherio Luffy is representing our Royal Father of the Day. Can we all say Kabiesio? Thank you. That's exactly how it's done from where we're from.
I think I like the fact that you people said Kabisi. It's only in the Yoruba film that I used to hear that thing. So it's good to know that you people can actually say Kabisi. Let's do it one more time. Everybody, Kabisi. The mic is so powerful. You command people to do what they like. Amazing.
You know, it's beautiful to know that this particular event we're in, this National Youth Leadership Summit, embodies everything that we want to see in our nation, from culture to values to resilience to business conversation, governance, a lot of all of these things. And in case you're wondering if we have so much more in store, we definitely do. And you'll be learning a lot too. And that's a bit of culture that we just served you right there.
I think it's very beautiful, Moyo, to also point out that this is a one-stop shop for everything humanity. You know, just like you said, if you're looking for culture, you're looking for banking and financial stability. We had the MD CEO of First Bank Nigeria with us. And right now, as we speak, we have a bank that is absolutely special. A banking institution that has done remarkably well, one of the strongest ones in the continent of Africa. Our friends from Wema Bank, we thank you very profusely.
Yes, we do.
Olutayo Oladipo, the head, HNI, and Diaspora. Wema Bank, we thank you. A round of applause, please, for her. Thank you very much.
A round of applause. Thank you so much for being here, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for joining us.
We also say a very big thank you as well to Ed, Youth Banking, Wema Bank. She's also will be speaking to us at some point. Lady Bumi Ayodele. Good morning, my lady. How are you?
Thank you for being
very
here.
Very nice, very nice. Wema Bank with their lovely alert and lovely purple feel like never before. And they also have something special now, Moyo.
Yes, before we get to our special unveiling, I think it's only right to recognize and welcome a couple of other guests we have in our midst today. We did tell you earlier on some of the voices that will be joining us on this platform and in this room, and we already have some of them here, and some are ably represented. So ladies and gentlemen, please celebrate with me. Marvelous Abe representing Dr. BC Oni. A round of applause, please.
Marvelous Abe, where you at? Please, can you rise or show your hand?
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
We have yet another representative of one of our speakers, Dr. Tim Atimori. Please, ladies and gentlemen.
We thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.
I think I also see Mr. Wela we mentioned earlier. Was he here when I mentioned your name? It's good to see you. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, one of the finest real estate minds in Nigeria. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for joining us, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wema Bank are saying that You shouldn't just come here and just, come here and just be there. You should smile home at some point.
Yes.
And so Women Bank is saying, spin and win big at this year's installment of Ambassador Summit here at the Orientals. We're excited to inform you that Women Bank has brought many offers on our account opening. And so what that means that if you go to the back there, they are there with their stand, very lovely stand as well. If you do well to open your bank account with the minimum balance of 5,000 naira, you stand the chance of winning amazing prizes, courtesy of Wema Bank. It doesn't get bigger or better than this. I'm saying prizes like thermal mugs. The school is about to resume. The kids need new school bags.
Right.
Thank you, Wema Bank. Carrier bags and so much more, courtesy of Wema Bank. And we thank them very kindly. And it's going to be a very special feel like never before.
So we're encouraging you at some point at the course of the event, please ensure you step out and engage with the Wema Bank booth, open your account, and get ready to win amazing prizes while at it.
Moya, one of the things that stood out for me in the delivery of the absolutely amazing Dr. Olorede was the fact that your word has to be your bound in such a way. Your word, the integrity in whatever it is you do, the prestige in whatever you say, and the fact that you should always believe that greatness is not luck. Yeah, I think that stuck with me. Greatness is not luck. Greatness is planned, and it's a lot of hard work.
Yes.
And it's consistency. And we thank you very much, ma'am. And we thank you so much for still being here. At some point, there will be something special that will also have you here. Blessed Sax, if he's here and ready, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, is one of the best there is, was, and ever will be saxophonists in Nigeria today. Yeah. And we want to break this conversation, Moyo. It's been a lot of talk and our faces and gist and
So I think it's only right for us to bring in a bit of music so that you would enjoy ease for a little bit before we get to the next conversation. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a music break, and we hope that you enjoy while you also prepare for all of the amazing things to come at the Ambassador Summit 7.0.
Blessed Sax on stage. Thank you.
Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Blessed Sax. Very, very well done.
You know, while that was going on, I was expecting people to bust some moves in the room. But it feels like we still have quite a number of reserved ambassadors. Ambassadors, are you sure you are here? Are you here? Are you sure? Okay, I know ambassadors usually would like to give some classy vibe.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we will shake this room up.
Moyo, and to be fair, I saw some people at the back recording selfie videos and dancing and having a good time to Blessed Sax. Ambassadors, you're going to do me a favor. Moyo did earlier. Please, can I have a bit of silence, please? Thank you. My ambassadors, I need you to do me a favor. You see that person sitting next to you? Just smile at that person. Just smile. Smile. It's not as if there's anything wrong with you. Just smile. Just smile. Just smile. Now say to the person, good morning. Oh yeah, be smiling. Be smiling. Say it is good to see you. Ask your neighbor, how are you? Wait for the response. Let the person, do you have light in your adubo? How much is fuel? Have you eaten? Are you fine? Ask those questions. Show what okay. Show what pa. What's going on in your mind? Have you paid school fees? I'm not asking about you. Are you in school? Are you in primary school?
And while you're doing that, I think it's also right for you to compliment them. Let them know that they look absolutely fantastic.
Tell them they look fine.
Tell them they look great.
You look nice, my lady. Good morning. You look very nice. You look very nice. No, you tell her she looks nice. Tell him he looks nice. Compliment her glasses. Compliment his watch. Tell him his smile is fine. Please don't ask for account number. Don't ask for. You like my glasses? Thank you. So I like your hair. I used to have plenty hair before, but I remember that when I used to have it's always headache. All things have passed away. This woman just broke my heart. I used to have hair, Moyo, but I don't know where the hair went to. I used to have plenty hair. I
was going to tell you something, but let me just hold it back. But then if you want it to return, I have a remedy for you. Do you want the remedy?
It's fine. I don't want. You are not in my corner. Ladies and gentlemen, Moyo, we have a special performance now.
Yes, a very special one indeed. Because this performance is going to blow your mind. I think this is one of the youngest voices that I've listened to, and I had teary eyes over and over again. The intelligence, the brilliance is one that I would always love to have in a room that I'm in. Ladies and gentlemen, the spoken word performance at this time, and I want you to welcome so that she would have all the strength to deliver such another stellar performance at the Ambassador Summit. So please welcome with a resounding round of applause our own gorgeous baby, intelligent baby for a spoken word performance. Please, ambassadors, if you know that you are not jealous of this baby, give a resounding round of applause as I bring up on stage Baby Praise.
Good. Make it loud for praise. Come on. Please put your hands together for her, please. Make it loud for praise. Make it loud. Amazing. Praise, are you fine with them or you want them to clap some more? You don't want them to clap some more? Okay, it's fine. A round of applause for Baby Praise one more time. Come on. Amazing. Check.
Good day, distinguished guests. My name is Praise Oyeni, and I'm here to deliver a spoken word titled, I Am the Sword. They said you're too young to lead. I spurred and planted a seed of courage, a seed of light, a seed that says I will do what's right. I am the surge, not a wave that fades, but a power that stays, turning the dark into brighter days. Sometimes life says stop, the road feels like a mountain top, but I remember, leaders are not scared of heights. A leader climbs because their eyes are on the light. Challenges, there are no walls, there are doors, waiting for brave hearts to explore. Every storm hides a treasure, every test hides a measure, every no can become a yes, when you face with courage and finesse. So I search the storm for its gift. I lift my voice, I lift and uplift. I am not afraid of what comes to me, because I see not just what is, but what can be. The surge is the spark in my soul, the push that says you can reach your goal. My reason to rise when I fall is the echo that says you can do it all. I'm the leader of my own story. I wear my courage like a crown of glory. I turn my small to something tall, because the surge in me can change it all. So here I stand, small in size, but big in vision and wise in the eyes. I am the surge, the leader of my time, turning challenges to gold with rhythm and rhyme. So watch me grow, watch me lead, watch me turn the tide, and watch the future glow. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the surge, a leader of my time. That was such a beautiful piece brought to you by the very gorgeous and intelligent daughter of the convener of Ambassador Summit. Please once again raise this roof for Baby Praise Oyeneyi.
Amazing.
And I think we're going to be picking that line from Baby Praise.
Yes.
We have to use that for every time we call your attention in this room. So, ambassadors, when we say, are you the surge? You have to reply us, yes, I'm the leader of what? Of my time. Because that's what Baby Praise have brought to us this morning. So do you want us to go that route? Do you
Let's
want us
try.
to go that route? All right, do you want to try with them?
What did you say now? Okay, sorry.
I got you right.
Ambassadors, are you the surge? Yeah. If you don't know it, you lie it. The beautiful thing about Baby Praise is she just reminds me of when we were much younger. And when I say we, I'm not talking about Moyo, who is absolutely bougie and very elite. I'm saying me that grew up when my parents ran away from Ghana, when we ran to Nigeria, and we lived in Oshodi. When I was Baby Praise's time. So you have to give kudos to the parents, the mom and dad. A round
Doing
of
an
applause for mommy and
amazing
dad.
job, by the way.
The time when Baby Praise was my own Baby Praise then, when I was Baby Praise age, we know things like, I know you know it too, so don't fall my hand. If you like fall your hand, use your own hand, you are falling. Wherever you go,
Go.
wherever you see, mommy, you too come. Do not say yes when you meet.
To say no.
Where did Baba Ibadan come from? The man is somewhere doing what I don't know. Mo yo Baba Ibadan. Lábẹ́ igi.
How do you guys know that one?
See your ambassadors.
It's supposed to be deep for you.
Yeah. Say no. My ambassadors they are very classy.
I thought you were bougie.
Orombo is classy.
No, you know. I think I heard them say Orombo.
Orombo. Okay.
Yeah.
So lábẹ́ igi.
Orombo. Oh.
Níbẹ̀ la gbé. This bros is very local. This bros. When you people said Inu Wadun, he said another one and said Inu Wadun. We know your kind on the assembly. You don't know the national arise. I need that call amazing. A round of applause for Baby Praise one more time. Come on, guys.
All right.
Alrighty.
Not to forget that we're going to be using Baby Praise line as a call and response at every point in the course of the event. So maybe I'll just make it simple and short. So when we say Surge 2025, your response will be, I am the leader of my time. I think that works, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's try this. Surge 2025. Search 2025. One more time. Search 2025. Indeed,
Amazing.
we are the leader of our time, and the time we're talking about is definitely right now.
Not tomorrow, not yesterday, immediately and right now. Instant time. Thank you, Lagos, for coming out today. We'll be taking thoughts from the Wema Bank very shortly. Very shortly. But before then, it is time for us to now welcome the chairman of this great occasion, our summit chairman. And the citation has been prepared for him. And after the citation, it will come on the stage to say some more. Okay, the chairman just wants to come immediately without the citation. Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, sir, kindly step forward. The absolutely amazing, absolutely outstanding gentleman. Yes, over there is fine. It's perfect. Over there is perfect. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Ayodele Ogunson is a distinguished entrepreneur and public servant, serving as the chairman of Executive Group and as a board member of the Lagos State Security Trust Fund, LSSTF. His leadership is anchored in visionary enterprise, strategic governance, and community uplift. A graduate of business administration from the prestigious Yaba College of Technology and Federal Polytechnic at Doekiti, Dr. Ogunson also holds certifications and executive education from esteemed institutions including Lagos Business School, Oxford Brookes University, Harvard Business School, Brunel University, Georgetown University, Singapore's Management Development Institute, Stellenbosch Business School, University of Wolverhampton, University of Houston, and the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration. He is a respected member of multiple professional bodies such as the Institute of Directors of Nigeria, Nigeria-Britain Association, Nigeria-British and Nigerian-American Chambers of Commerce, and the Nigerian-Spanish Association, reflecting his far-reaching engagement across sectors. In June 2020, Governor Babachide Sanwo-Olu appointed Dr. Ogunson to the LSSTF board, recognizing his proven excellence in entrepreneurship and public service. Through this role, he contributes to enhancing security infrastructure for Lagos State, a critical platform for public safety, economic growth, and overall civic welfare. Dr. Ogunson's influence also extends into youth development.
Thank you very much for that. But you were too late. You're supposed to have switched it off since. Thank you very much. I welcome you all to the Ambassador Arena. I hope you are aware this is the Ambassador Arena. I hope you are aware. I welcome you to Ambassador 7.0. And I know and I believe that you've been strongly impacted since we started. And it's going to be an ongoing thing. All through this program, you will get something. You will leave here with something definite. So you do yourself a lot of good by just telling the person beside you, and please don't distract me. I am here. I am here to get something, because you're getting something that will change the whole narrative of your life. And you will make a recourse. You will remember today and say, I was somewhere some years ago, September 4, 2025. I heard a word that changed my story. And that's what will definitely happen. Before I start, I want to especially appreciate the presence of my father, my mentor. I will even call him a father. I will call him my grandfather. And a father to many. A great man. A man that you hardly find in centuries. It's rare to come by such men. I'm talking about no one than our dearly beloved father and the father of Nigeria. I know we have one father of Nigeria who is also our mentor, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But do you agree with me, we have fathers? Fathers that can sit where those fathers also sit. These are men that have touched their world. These are men that do not close their bowels of compassion. These are men that they are waking and their sleeping thought is how to add value to lives. They can't hold back when they see other people crying, or they are in in need. I wish you know this man. And if you know him, I know very many of you know him, I wish you meet him. You see the aura around him, the aura of kindness, the aura of greatness. Simple, unassuming. But this man is a rare man. I've been meeting men. This is a different one entirely. And I've made up my mind. I'm going to be his boy, his student for the rest of my life. Had his 100th birthday. I will witness 110. And then at 110, I will meet Baba and say, Baba, what's your decision? Do you still want to enjoy some time with us? And if he tells me yes, then I will do 120. And then I leave the rest to God. Baba, Sir, Kessington, Adebukola, I don't know whether Adebukola or Adebukola, but I just call it by that. Adebutu. A great man. I thought you'd be clapping as I'm mentioning the name. He's passionate about youth. The very moment we discussed this event with him, he said, youth. And then the next thing he talked about education, health. This is what he's been doing. I'll tell you a story before I say a little thing as the chairman of the occasion. I was with him in his office one day, somewhere around the Juelegba. And while climbing up, I saw heads of people all around, moving in and out. I saw the blind. I saw the students, less privileged ones. I kept looking around and said, God, what are these people doing here? And then I climbed up to the next floor. I saw them there, all in their large numbers. Then I got to the next floor. I saw others. The mistake I made that day, if I know that I'll be meeting a man of that stature and a man to learn from, I think I will have gotten one handkerchief. But I didn't, because I thought I was just going to do my normal security business. And then I saw this great man. I prostrated before him. I greeted him. So, did they? And then I stood up. And then he discussed with me and all that. And then he said, are you in a hurry? I said, no, sir. You can't be in a hurry around such men. So I said, sir, I'm not in a hurry. He said, come, join me. I have a session with some people, less privileged ones. They came from far and near. I still remember very clearly some students from the school of special school. There's a special school, College of Education, in around Ibadan or somewhere in Oyo State. They came over blind. They were to pay their school fees. And the leader of those young men and women came forward and was making a presentation. And my father, this great man, the father of my mommy present here, started asking questions. What you are saying, is that true? The young girl said, yes, it's true. So what exactly do you need? Baba does that all the time to know, to be able to sieve and weed out those who lie, to get support from those who have good intentions. And he has been doing that. He has a way. He will ask you a question. If you are telling a lie, he will tell you, that's a lie. Get off. Let me listen to the next person. And the leader presented their prayers. And the next thing Baba said, okay, don't give them these monies directly. Pay directly to the school. And he directed them there to do the needful. And I saw those blind young men and women line up, going out in their numbers. Over 30 sorted. At that time, I was getting emotional. It was just starting. So I was looking for who could get me an handkerchief, because I can't hold the tears that Are there men like this? These are responsibilities of government, institutions all around us that they have neglected. But this great man, single-handedly, have been sorting these people out. Immediately after that, I saw some new set of people coming. I won't forget that man, an Okada rider. He came in with the daughter. And, the guy opened the daughter's abdominal area. And Baba said, stop, close it. Decent, gracious man. But still, the man has to at least present that thing so that Baba will be convinced that there is a need for intervention. And then they opened it. Oh my God. That was when I knew that some of us here, what this clothes we are wearing is doing is great. And I'm sure our mommy, the representative of daddy, knows as a medical doctor that there are things you see in your medical room and where you check people and you say, wow, you look at people coming to an hospital, beautiful, looking elegant. But when they open up and you see what is underneath, you almost collapse. I saw it was a terrible sight to behold. And Baba said, what do you need? And he narrated the whole thing. This great man will not waste time. He said, all right, don't give this man the money. Do you have any invoice from the hospital? And they brought it forward. And he looked at it. He didn't care about the figure. He didn't care about those things. He just approved it. And then they will now go to the hospital and get access to Medicare. And you think men like this are ordinary? Not just one. Some of us at our level, when you help somebody on Monday and the person comes back to you on Tuesday knocking on the same thing, the natural thing. You get a bit, dismissed. Oh, I don't want to see that person again. But this is a man that every day of his life, what he sorts these people out, less privileged ones. And for those of us who are here, we want to thank our great Father for giving you this opportunity and the platform you are which department are you? Some will say sociology department, psychology department. But here today is a department of diplomats, choosing people, special people. That's who you are. And so behave like one throughout this conference. This is where excellent entrepreneurs are gathering. Please find them. They are here seated. They can be humble, unassuming, but if you take time to look at where they are, then possibilities is what you begin to encounter. I'm also here to tell you that I know people will come here with frustrations. People who have been trying and failing, and you feel, what is this all about? Just a talk show. I've been to several fora where they talk, no solution. Listen, we are experts in fighting frustrations. The convener is here, and other speakers are here. We will defeat frustration here, and you will go back better. Just cooperate with us. I also want to tell you, seated here, we have godly genius. Very godly genius. And I will thank God for the first speaker, though I was not here, but Mommy made reference to a speech, the GMD of First Bank, where he talked about the God factor. On this arena today, God will raise very, very godly genius, and you'll be one of them. Honest helpers are here. Find them. They will help you. They will sow into your businesses. There are several investment initiatives also that will come up from this platform. Please try and take advantage of them. After this program, we're going to have jinx breakers, people that will break strongholds that have bound them down in their families for years. You will get first out of here. First graduate out of here in your family. You will get first successful businessman out of your lineage. That's what God is going to do on this platform. So you will break chains here. Then here is a king's court. I'm a king, you are a queen. And for the ladies, here is a queen's court. There's a lounge I see here, a lounge. It might be big, a big hall, but I look at it as a lounge for leaders, the leaders' lounge. This place, the convener has successfully provided a platform for us to have a marriage between the mentors and the mentees. So you will find mentors here today that will take your story to the next level. And it will do matchmaking too. Not only that, we'll do matchmaking. I'm not talking of marital matchmaking. This is not a marriage seminar. But in terms of business and cooperating together to get things done. It's a nest of nation builders. It's a ground of opportunities. Here today is a palace of possibilities. It's a quarters of the qualified. It's a queen's court. It's the residence of the resilient. That's what this place is meant for. And it's the school of the serious-minded. If you are not serious, please exit before we start. Because here, seated here, are serious-minded people. It's a tent for talent hunting and for also promoting what you have. There's a union of the unicorns. I know some of them are present here. We look forward to engage you. It's a village of the valiants. Please take advantage. The bold, the courageous, those who do not look at mountains, but they get into the ocean and succeed. It's a workshop of the warriors. So warriors will be raised in this assembly today. And we're going to have an x-ray of several activities we're doing today. And then let me also surprise you because of where this convener belongs. It's a young executive forum. Yeah, you are young executives. This is a forum of young dynamic executive. At the end of this program, I'll see you at the zenith of your dream. You will be at Ambassador 8.0. You'll be alive. You will come and share testimonies that attending this event, this is the result I get. And there will be real-time results, tangible ones that everybody can latch on and be blessed. Thank you very much. Please enjoy the rest of the day, and God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Ayo, thank you. Dr. Ayo Ogunson, thank you. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you so very much for standing when standing hasn't been easy. Thank you for Lagos State. Thank you for Nigeria and Africa. Thank you for leading from the front, the captain with the armband. Thank you, the myth, the man, the legend. Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you. What a man. What a man. Before we bring on the panel session, of course, before we bring on Wema Bank as well, we're bringing on Wema Bank immediately. Dr. Ayogunso mentioned and spoke very loftily of the icon and this modern-day superhero, Dr. Kessington Adebukuzu. And I also have to speak loftily about him as well. I'm going to remove my glasses again. So I lost my brother recently, and I'd lost my mom before that, and it was a very difficult time. I had buried two people that was close to me, and it was sad. I barely opened a particular email, and I opened that email that day, and I saw one particular email message, African Union, blah, 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 blah. And I read, and apparently an organization that is based in Harare, Zimbabwe, wanted to award me for a Master of Ceremonies Excellence Award on the African continent. And I didn't check the mail. I was like, oh, this mail. Then apparently I saw that somebody, a South African MC that I had met in a conference in Comoros some years ago, had nominated me for that award. And then so they've been monitoring. I just did burials back to back. I was mentally drained and financially broken. As a Master of Ceremonies, we get jobs, we are blessed. Moyo knows God has been faithful to us. But sometimes it's difficult. We are not superstars. It's hard. Forget the jacket, forget these fancy clothes and shoes. It's hard sometimes. And I was going through my phone. I wanted to go for this award. I wish to go. My creator wants to be there in person. And this event is going to happen in Zanzibar, Tanzania. And I'm going to be awarded on an African continent. I've won tons of awards in Nigeria, no disrespect. And whenever I leave this country, I go
cute videos using the hashtag Ambassador Summit 7. Okay, please make sure you do that. And we have gifts for people who will be posting online with that hashtag Ambassador Summit 7. Key into that, and we'll be checking as a
economy, the second largest city economy, with over $259 billion worth in GDP. The great governor of Lagos State is here, well represented by
Good morning, everyone. It's so good to be here. So I want to tell the MCs. They said Surge 7.0. What will you say? You guys have forgotten. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here. Chief Dr. Kessington Adebutu, the distinguished father of the day, the HRH, Oba Ibrahim Lawal Bello, the Oba of Isheri Olofin, ably represented, the convener of this great summit, Mr. Joshua Oyeni, our guest speakers, especially Dr. Ayo Ogunson. Thank you so much for the warm welcome, sir. The great partners and sponsors of the summit, ambassadors and attendees of the summit. So I'll be reading this on behalf of the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, at the Ambassador Summit Africa 7.0 held on Thursday, 4th September 2025 at Oriental Hotel, Lekki, Lagos. So when I'm talking, please, just assume it's Mr. Governor speaking, because I will be using hi a lot. So be rest assured that, Mr. Governor is the one speaking to you. It is a great pleasure to join you at the 7th edition of Ambassador Summit Africa, a truly forward-thinking platform committed to raising a new generation of leaders and entrepreneurs across our continent. Let me begin by appreciating the organizers for consistency in championing youth empowerment, true leadership and enterprise. Platforms like this are not only timely, but essential for Africa's growth story. The theme for this year's summit, Strategic Leadership for Turning Challenges into Opportunities, speak directly to the heart of what our generation needs: vision, resilience, and transformative thinking. Across the continent, and especially here in Lagos, we are witnessing a revolution led by our young people helping them scale their businesses, employ others, and contribute to our economy. The Lagos Innovate and Tech Hubs. We have launched technology hubs and innovation labs across the state to nurture digital skills, support tech startups, and connect young talent with global opportunities. Our goal is to position Lagos as African Silicon Valley. Jobs Initiative Lagos. In collaboration with the private sector, we designed this program to equip final year tertiary institution students with soft and technical skills needed to succeed in today's competitive job market. Eco Digital Initiative and Code Lagos. These programs are training thousands of young Lagosians in coding, data science, and digital literacy, ensuring that they are not left behind in the global digital economy. Creative Lagos Initiative. We are recognizing the power of the creative industry. We launch programs that support young talent in film, fashion, music, and art, helping to turn passion into profit. Sports and leadership development. We are also investing significantly in youth-focused sports facilities and leadership boot camps to channel energy proactively and productively to promote teamwork, discipline, and resilience. All of these programs have one thing in common. They are designed to create opportunities, platform to equip young people not just to survive, but to lead. Dear young people, the power to shape the future lies in your hands. Strategic leadership is about refusing to be defined by status quo and also by limitations. It is about choosing vision over fear, solutions over complaints, and purpose over popularity. Be the entrepreneur who builds not only for profit, but for impact. Be the leader who listens, learns, and lifts others. We rise by lifting others, right? Be the one who sees Africa not for what it is lack, but for what it can become. As we engage in this summit, I encourage you to share ideas, connect deeply, network with each other, and build that network that would outlive you today. The future belongs to those who prepare for it, and you are already taking the right step. As a government, we remain committed to supporting your dreams, your drive, and your leadership. Thank you once again for inviting me being Mr. Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu. I wish you all a fruitful and inspiring summit. May Lagos State, Nigeria, and Africa continue to rise through the strength of its youth. Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, Governor of Lagos State. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Executive Governor, Lagos State, definitely deserve much honor than that, gracing us with his presence through the Senior Special Assistant, Mrs. Atanda. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for delivering such powerfully the message from the governor, talking about the fact that the state will continue to back our youth. And we know that the state has not slept on that for any reason. And we're definitely holding on to the good message from the governor, encouraging us for more, to do more, and to push further and build this state of ours and, of course, the country. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that I would love to again remind you of our charge throughout this event. So again, may I have your attention so that you remember what our response is. Do I have your attention? Do I have your attention? All right. Surge 2025. No, that's not the kind of lead that Governor Sanwo-Olu came here to address. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do that more resoundingly. Surge 2025. I can see that the hall got fuller. Maybe a lot of people did not know when we picked that as our charge for today. So in case you're just joining us at the Ambassador Summit 2025, here is what we're doing. So it's our call to response and, of course, a reminder of what we're doing here today and what we hope to do as young people, either in leadership or entrepreneurship. So when we say Surge 2025, your response should be, I am the leader of our time, or of my time, depending on how you want to look at it. So can we do this together? Because we have stronger, fuller room with stronger voices. So I think it should be more resounding so they would hear us at Lekki Phase 1. Do we have a pledge? Are we doing that? All right, don't worry, they won't catch us for noise pollution. Let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, in 3, 2, 1, Surge 2025. Right. We are definitely the leader of our time today and not tomorrow.
Immediately. The only job I have here right now is just to ask if this person is around. Engineer Adams Adebola, the founder
of
Adams College.
Do we have you in our midst, sir?
Are you here, sir? Engineer Adams Adebola.
All right.
Engineer Adams Adebola. Okay, cool. We do not have that. We would also like to say a very big thank you to everybody for coming out today. And we'll be going straight to the very first panel
session.
Yeah?
And this panel session is very strategic. And I know that we're going to have robust conversation because I know in our midst today we have professionals. We have people who are building their career across industries. You know, personally, apart from being a fantastic event host, I'm also one who is very keen on a professional career. I'm a brand communication executive, and when there are conversations on career, I do not take it with levity. And that's why this particular panel session is one that I'm expecting all the professionals in the house to start getting their pen and their jotter for. This session has this theme of focus around career and innovation, and we're going to be talking about building a thriving career amidst economic uncertainties. Building a thriving career amidst economic uncertainties. You can tell that there are so many things happening in the world today. The change is evident. And if you're not moving with some of the things happening, you will definitely find yourself at the back seat. And that's not the kind of leaders we want to see in Nigeria. We want dedicated leaders, forward-thinking leaders. And I know those are the kind of leaders we have at the Ambassador Summit 2025. So ladies and gentlemen, I will be constituting this panel, who will be talking to us about surviving to thriving, who will be talking about some of the strategies and decisions we need to make for our career, fast-growing career, and of course, we'll be talking about digital skills and job creation. As I bring up the panelists, I would love for you to kindly, warmly welcome them with a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, I do hope that the media team is ready, as we have our first panelist, Dr. Ayodele Oni, partner at Bloomfield Law Practice.
Dr. Ayodele Oni is a distinguished partner at Bloomfield LP, where he leads the Energy and Natural Resource Practice Group, offering strategic legal expertise in electricity, oil, gas, and energy project development. His academic background includes an LLB from Lagos State University, a BL from the Nigerian Law School, an LLM in Energy and Environmental Law and Policy from the University of Calgary, and a PhD from the University of Southampton. He also serves as an adjunct lecturer in energy policy at the University of Ibadan's Center for Petroleum, Energy Economics and Law. Dr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause as we very much welcome Dr. Ayodele Oni. And I think we have something in common, and that's the fact that we both have a law degree from Lagos State University, if I'm correct. I think I heard that correctly. Is anyone from Lagos State University here? Hey, Mama. I have quite a number of people. We are LASU. Oh, wow. So I have recent LASU people here. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you very much. And we do apologize for that abrupt stop to that profile.
Me, I will not apologize for what's about to happen now. University of Lagos, are you in this building?
You see, they're not here.
University of Lagos, if you're in this building, make some noise. Come on.
Okay, let me check in with my people one more time. Before I didn't want to be proud about it. We already have a distinguished representative on stage. But now I think I'm going to be proud about it. If you are from the best state university in Africa, LASU, make some noise! That's my people.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are two universities in Nigeria. University of Lagos and...
You don't want us to start this drama here.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time as well, to join this panel.
Ladies and gentlemen, to join this panel, we also have the group Olawale. A round of applause, please.
Amadolapo Olawale, thank you so very much for joining us. Thank you so very much, sir, for coming out today. We appreciate you. We do not take you or your time for granted. Thank you.
And finally, for this panel session, I have the honor of bringing, I think she's going to be the only female voice or female panel voice on this session because our moderator is also female. A very balanced panel, if you ask me. But please, make a resounding noise and a round of applause as I bring on HR Director, Bloomfield Law Practice, Mrs. Grace Oyeniyi, for this panel session. Media team.
Mrs. Grace Oyeniyi is a well-versed human resources professional, a management faculty member, accomplished scholar, and public speaker with several years of specialized experience growing and managing businesses. Grace's interdisciplinary background spans education, finance, technology, law, and non-profit sectors. She has consistently provided last-mile solutions in human resource management, organizational development, and operational execution. She currently serves as the HR and Practice Development Director at Bloomfield Law Practice, a dynamic corporate commercial and dispute resolution law firm in Lagos, where she leads firm-wide HR strategy, talent development, compliance, and internal systems transformation. Her previous roles include leadership and strategic positions at Guarantee Trust Bank, FundQuest Nigeria Finance, Jumia, Tuteria Corp, Tech, and Casamia, where she delivered results from grassroots execution to the C-suite. Grace is also a faculty member at Rome Business School, where she lectures HR master students and contributes to executive education in HR strategy, leadership, and global workforce management. She has designed and delivered high-impact training programs for professionals across both the private and public sectors, including lawyers, HR leaders, and executives. Notably, she has trained officers of the Nigerian Army, delivering sessions renowned for their clarity, strategic depth, and practical application. Her areas of training include organizational strategy, compliance leadership, workforce effectiveness, and capacity building in today's dynamic business environment. Grace is a respected idea pioneer and venture builder, having played founding and transformational roles in multiple organizations. She actively mentors women-led enterprises, advocates for youth and economic empowerment, and champions sustainable talent development across Africa. She currently sits on the board of 3 organizations, among which is the Girl Liti Foundation, where she continues to promote education, leadership, and social impact among young women and communities. She holds an MBA from Rome Business School, graduating in the top 5% of her class, and a first-class honors degree from the University of Lagos, where she was the best graduating student in her department. She is a certified project management professional, PMP, and holds the SHRM, CIPM, and GPHR certifications in human resources. Her global perspective is shaped by experiences such as serving with ISEC in India, an experience that earned her national media recognition. She is an Associate Fellow of the Royal Commonwealth Society UK, an award-winning public speaker, and a certified international sign language interpreter. In 2016, she received the President Bill Clinton Certificate of Service through the Holt Prize program. She is a proud member of Forbes BLK and has been featured in notable Nigerian media platforms such as Punch and Business Day newspapers. Her lifelong mission is to become a globally influential leader, driving transformation across the human resources, corporate, and social landscape through strategic investment in education, economic empowerment, and sustainable development through purposeful initiatives and projects across Nigeria and the African continent. Ambassadors, with a profound round of applause, join me as we welcome this champion of progress, Mrs. Grace Oyeni.
Ambassadors, you can do better. And did I hear that you have proficiency in sign language? Amazing. So tell me I love you, or tell me you love me. I love you too. Now you first stop. Okay, not me first stop. I love you. I know that we had training on that earlier on, but thank you. That was such a beautiful one. And ladies and gentlemen, just to quickly rush in on this panel introduction, I have the honor of also reading the citation profile of our third panelist, that is Mr. Omodolapo Lawale, who is a group head, performance management and human resources at Emerging Africa Group. He is a generalist human resources professional with cognate experience across industries, including oil and gas, financial services, and management consulting. He holds a bachelor's degree in business administration as well as master's degree in organization behavior from the University of Lagos, Nigeria. Unilag people, that's where you should be giving him a round of applause. Thank you. He is an international certified senior professional human resources from the Human Resources Certification Institute, USA, and also associate member of both Chartered Institute of Personal Management of Nigeria, CIPM, and Institute of Strategic Management of Nigeria, ISMN. Prior to joining Emerging Africa Group, he served as a senior HR assistant with Raynoil Limited, HR assistant manager at Steel Earth Capital Finance, and HR assistant with Page Financials, where he was responsible for handling end-to-end HR processes for over 450 employees across Lagos, Ibadan, and Abuja. He was recognized and given an award as one of the unsung heroes in the company. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please appreciate Mr. Omodolapo Olawale. Thank you. And right now, to chair the affairs of this career and innovation panel session, I will be handing over to the very gorgeous moderator. And I always love that moderators are appreciated because panel sessions are not easy to moderate. And if you give them the right energy, they will definitely give you a beautiful session. So please welcome with me the moderator, Victoria Daramola. A round of applause, please.
Ambassadors, was that round of applause for me, for you, for our special guests, for our panelists? Which of them? Can I please know which? So I'll know whether I'm accepting that round of applause or not. Can we please celebrate ourselves one more time? While we're doing that, can we celebrate with me this wonderful panelist for taking out time this beautiful afternoon to be here? Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am. You're welcome this afternoon. And while we're looking at this and talking about career and innovation, we'll need to look at the team. We need to look at the team. We need to look at the team, Surge. How many of us Googled Surge before coming here this afternoon? I Googled Surge. How many of us did that? Oh, I looked into my dictionary. Anybody? Okay. Bring out your phone and quickly check. Because we don't have to know what we are doing here today. Yes or no? Yes. So quickly check it. Open your dictionary or your Google, whichever works. Quickly. Found anything? What did you find? Okay, I'll read from here on our behalf. It says, of a crowd or a natural force. move suddenly and powerfully forward or upward. Forward or upward. So today, while we're gathered together, while we're having such powerful keynote speeches, while we're having wonderful panel sessions, it's important that you are noting down very, very powerful nuggets that will surge you upwards powerfully. Did we see that definition? I don't know if your phone, you brought that out for you on Google. Did we see it? Awesome. So your movement from henceforth after today has to be what? Powerfully forward or what? Upward. So please, I beg us, do well to pay attention and make sure that everything that we're doing today is bringing out a upward, forward, powerful motion and movement from you. In this session, we'll be talking about building a thriving career amidst economic uncertainties. How many of us know what that means? Off the top of my head. Our economic situation right now is so uncertain, and many of us want to do great things, and we don't even know how to begin or where to start. So we're here in this particular session and segment to look at these things, evaluate it, that will help us navigate these very murky waters. To start our panels, I know you're ready for us and you can't wait to speak to us. I'm going to be starting with our daddy in the house, Dr. Ayodele. Well done, sir. I'm going to be throwing this, I like to call it the appetizer for this panel session. It says that for young professionals who are just starting out in Nigeria, how can they move from simply surviving paycheck to paycheck to actually building a thriving career despite the increasing living costs in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
I like to say that you should be different. And there'd always be stories. If you do what else is doing and doing it exactly the way they're doing it, you'd get the same result. And one thing you'd realize is that most people in the world are average and remain average. So one, you have to be different. Two, consistency. And I'll tell you a quick story. I wrote for business. I wrote their electric power segment for at least 10 years. I wrote twice every month without stop. From about 2010 to about 2020. First year, nothing. Second year, nothing. Third year, nothing. Fourth year, my wife was going to give birth abroad, and I didn't have enough money. I'd saved monies, and someone just reached out to me from one of the IOCs. They had seen an article I wrote in Business Day, and were discussing an issue, and they needed an expert opinion. And they paid me, I think it was £10,000 only for that, and it solved all my problems at that time. So when you remain consistent and you do it excellently, someone's going to notice you. An idea is going to come your way. Someone is going to want to help you. So never despise small beginnings, which is when you still earn. I had to go from Ikeja to Surulere every day. It wasn't even enough for my transport fare, NYSC. It took my girlfriend, now my wife, to give me additional money every month to be able to get home. Until midway, the guys thought I was adding value, and then whether tripled that money. Now, what I earned then and what I earn now, you miles apart. So never despise little beginnings. My wife doesn't really need to work, but she works. My wife is a goal-getter. She works, She can go anywhere in the world. She can buy almost any car she wants to buy now, and I'll bring out the check. But it wasn't always like that. So there'd always be small beginnings, of course, unless you're a Nepo baby, right? If you're not a Nepo baby, if you're a Lapo baby, you will have those struggles. But you need to stay the course. And I'm not telling you stories because that's it. I went to LASU. If my dad could afford that I went abroad, I would have. But I'm sure I can get my kids to go to the UK, anywhere else they want to study in the world now. But my parents couldn't afford it. My parents were honest civil servants. But if you stay the course, if you remain consistent, and if you are different, a third story. I was doing my master's around 2008, and I was doing my research and found out that there was no book on electricity written by a Nigerian. And I started to write a book on electricity. I didn't tell anyone, save for we had gotten married, just gotten married, my wife, girlfriend and wife. We had gotten married. And, along the way, I met people who were willing to help me. Even at the regulator, President Obasanjo had just set up. So, everybody started, I then said, you know what, I will do my master's in electricity and energy generally, but more electricity, because everybody at that time was going to Dundee to do oil and gas. If you remember the early 2000s to about 2010, a lot of people wanted to do energy, were doing oil and gas. I concentrated on power. So when I was done, I had like 5 job offers from the top law firms. If you know Alukwano Bode, Templars, Alex, Banwo, I had ACAS. I had an offer from all of them and I had to choose. By year 5, I was a senior associate. You typically be 10 years at the bar before you become a senior associate in any of the leading firms. I was a senior associate at 5 years at the bar because I made sure I was exceptional. Others will go home, I will stay and work overnight. I will ensure that partners will be like, you know what, I need this thing by 8 a.m. tomorrow. Who can I give it to? It is 10 p.m. now, but the client needs it, and the client is paying us a lot of money. Let me give it to that Ayodele. And by 6:05, they have it. And it's very good draft they can work on. You will never sacrifice. I think I've been on a flight before with someone very, 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 one of the richest Nigerians. He probably not always fly commercial. He was in first class or business class. And he's a lawyer, one of the Nigeria's richest lawyers. And I saw him reading. I was on business. I think it was I think it was Qatar. Qatar had first class, right? I was in business. And I saw him reading because his PA2 was in business and told me, I don't want to mention his name was there. So hard work never really kills. No matter what anyone says, hard work is important. But a few other things is, in your hard work, be smart, be different. Someone said something. You'll be where you are. I'm reading this book. I was at a CEO's office, an oil and gas company yesterday. I do a lot of advice for oil and gas companies. And I saw 2 copies. His book, Femi Otedala's book. I saw a hard copy and I saw a soft copy. You will be where you are today in 10, 20 years. Say, for the people you meet, the places you go like here, and the books you read. Places you go, people you meet, and the books you read. Because those who make the difference are human beings. It's someone who is going to give you an opportunity. I always say there's nobody who is self-made. Really. Because it may be that God smiled on you. It may be that someone gave you an opportunity. If I tell you my stories, someone gave me an opportunity. I messed up in an interview. And someone still took me. And from there, my life changed. From wanting to do a master's in a Nigerian school, I got to that office. Someone was on a 1-week holiday and they were abroad. I didn't believe that it was possible. You are on 1-week holiday abroad. Abroad looked like heaven to me at that time. So from there, that was the beginning. I could buy a car within a year, do my master's abroad on scholarship because I had very good grades. I was top of my class. But, so those things never really change. The brick and mortar never change. There'll be fintech, but Dangote is still the richest African. He's not doing fintech. So you don't have to follow the crowd. Be different. Do what you have natural flair for. And it's usually a matter of time if you stay the course. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, if we are celebrating him, we can do it better. I don't know how many of us are taking notes, but I did. Consistency, be different, find your niche, hard work, and the people, the places you go, and the books you read. I'm not leaving that question just yet because it's such a powerful question. So much is going on, and a lot of people feel frustrated. So I'm still coming to you, Mrs. Oyeni. How do we help someone who is living paycheck to paycheck build a stable career or a business, as the case may be, in this economic situation in Nigeria?
Thank you so much for the question. And before I lend my voice to that question, I'd like to appreciate our distinguished special guests in the house, Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here to represent our dear father, Adadi Adebutu. We're very grateful. Thank you, Dr. Ogunso, as well, alongside all of our special guests today. Thank you so much. So to that question, moving from paycheck to paycheck to then having a thriving career, I'll piggyback on what Dr. Ayodele said. At every point in time, you would find that so paycheck to paycheck might be relative. I mean, depending on the discourse. But let's take it from the point where, as a fresh graduate, maybe you don't have a job yet, because I know the demography of the people that we have in the room. And the essence here, like we've said, is to surge, meaning that upward movement. So a graduate, or you have a job that is just paying, and you're wondering, they're here saying, oh, do this, do that. But what I'm earning right now is just like peanuts. So I'll come from the financial angle. I started my career majorly in one of the multinationals, Guarantee Trust Bank to be precise. And I remember that when I was at banking school, one of the profound things that they taught us that I took away from there is financial planning. You might say that, but I barely earned so little. What we were taught was the 80-20 rule. We were taught that there is a bucket to everything. So while you are taking care of your everyday needs, while you know that, I need to transport myself from the house to the office, what about that 20%? It could be 2,000 naira, right? You want to move from paycheck to paycheck to thriving, right? It could be 2,000 naira out of that paycheck that you received. What are you doing with it? Are you investing it, reinvesting it in yourself? Dr. Ayodele said some profound things. Dr. Oni said some profound things. He said, reading is one of them. Attending events like this is one of them. It will not always be by what you do. Other things would contribute. Such things as who you meet, the kind of people that you network with. There was a time I was sharing with someone and I mentioned that there is a difference between a mentor and a sponsor. If you're lucky to find a mentor who is also your sponsor, who would mention your name in a room where you are not at. And allow me to share this very quickly. I just returned from a 10-day trip to China that was fully sponsored, and the nomination to be a delegate at that conference came from my mentor, who is seated in the room, Dr. Ayodele Ogunso. He mentioned my name in the rooms where I was not. And before I knew what was going on, in less than 2 weeks, I found myself flying to China, all expense paid. Now, what am I saying? It is not my paycheck that took me on that trip. It is the people that have been privileged to meet. So while you are on that paycheck, you want to nurture your relationships. You are here in this room today. Some of us are don't be here for the glamour. Let me put it that way. There's going to be a networking session. There's someone beside you that you don't even know the tables that they sit at. You want to move away from paycheck to paycheck. At every point in time, the paycheck alone would not suffice. He has said so much, and I'm just piggybacking on that as well. So as much as possible, nurture the relationships that you have. While you are earning that paycheck, be prudent. Don't eat with the 10 fingers, right? Take some of it to save. I have done that. It has helped. It has worked for me. And then alongside other things. So I would stop there for now. So much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I hope we took note of those important points. Mr. Omodolapo, would you like to lend your voice to this question?
Okay, thank you very much. Standing on existing protocol, and just to take it up from where my co-panelists stopped. So in terms of relationship, I would say strategic relationship, right? I mean, all through my career, I've never had to apply for a job. There's always been one person referring me, and that's what brought me to where I am. In terms of saving, I would say that first of all, you must look at your career it's a long-term thing, right? Don't think about it about now. I need to make money now, right? In as much as you need to survive, you must also know that it's a phase. If you cannot afford a H&C shirt, if it's to go to Yaba, buy what you can buy. If you can't afford a dry cleaner, do it yourself, right? You need to be able to save. It's a must, right? So that should be the first thing that you take away from your salary. I mean, for the Christians, if you are doing tithes, you do that. In addition to that, as Dr. Aya said, you need to be an excellent person. I mean, I have a writing in my house that says, consistency is what transforms average to excellence. So, if you are different, trust me, it won't be long. It won't be long. All employees are not the same. So, whilst you are earning that money that you think is not enough, is when you don't have a job, you will know that, I mean, that money is something. So I would say that, understand that it's a phase. Prioritize savings, so no matter how small it is. I mean, there's this principle I usually do. Whilst you are working, there are times when they will give you bonuses, promotions, the differences you get in terms of your salary, put it somewhere. If you think that you do not have the right behavior to be able, or the discipline to be able to save, you can automate it. A very good example was when I got married. So there was this, I used to use a particular app that debits my account every day in order for me to be able to meet what I was working towards. Because I needed to write a certification exam and I needed that money. But what I did was to automate it, because based on my savings, based on my own earnings, I could afford to do daily savings, right? So what we are talking about is ensure that you prioritize savings. You cannot, it's a sacrifice. You must understand that it is a sacrifice and it's a phase. It's a phase. So please do whatever you need to do, because for you to be able to command more money in the market, you must be willing to invest in yourself. You need to be able to invest in yourself, and that will come from a place of sacrifice, whether time, in terms of when you need to study, in terms of finances to be able to take up additional roles, or to be able to take up additional courses, right? To be able to equip yourself for the next phase. And lastly, please don't leave out the place of having a mentor. When I started because I wanted to do HR from day one. When I finished school, when you less than 24, you have a 2-1, the opportunities are always there. But from day one, I wanted to do HR. So I didn't want to go to the bank. So what I did was, the first job I got, it was an internship. I wasn't paid a dime for 6 months. But what helped me was, I had mentors, uncles that saw me through that period. But guess what? By month 2, because the business wasn't doing well, so they told me from the onset. By month 2, then I got a job that was going to pay me 100K. And I heard clearly from God that I shouldn't move. At that point, they already saw value where I was working, and they were giving me 25K. And guess what? I used to drive. I used to drive all the way from Ilupeju to VI, Balara Bemusa. But what I used to do, I'll cook in the food they cook in the house, I'll take it along, because I was still managing that 25K. There was a friend that used to give me, just like he said, his own girlfriend, my own girlfriend too, that is now my wife, used to give me 5K every week, which is what I used to buy fuel in the car, right? And from there, now, the rest is history. But so please, there's a place of mentor, because sometimes that word that you need to hear, it's just a face. And I only did it for 2 months, and now the rest is history. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. On a lighter note, ladies in the house, did you hear what I heard? Did you hear it? When you have a man of vision, do not be afraid to support with cash. Don't just be a recipient, be a giver sometimes. Thank you so much, panelists. Thank you very much. We'll be moving quickly to another question that we have here. I'm tempted to start again with Dr. Ayedele, but I will not do that. So I'm going to start with Mrs. Oyeni this time. The question here says, how do you personally make tough career decisions? Like staying in a stable but stagnant job, or take the risk of starting something new, especially in an unpredictable economy?
All right, thank you so much for that question. How do you take tough decisions, whether to stay in a stable environment, but where you are not maybe financially rewarded enough in a manner that compensates what it is that you give, despite all of the, whether black tax, whether expenses that keep growing from time to time. I'm just trying to break down the question. What do you do? I'll share my story very quickly in that regard, because more often than not in our career, as we grow on the ladder, there are times when you have to make such tough decisions. For some of us, it could even be that you found yourself in a toxic environment. A toxic environment where you are well compensated, where you are well paid. So I'm flipping it around, right? You find yourself in a toxic environment. Maybe you've lost your peace of mind. You go home pretty late. But at the end of the month, when the money comes in, when the paycheck comes in, you are so proud to smile. You are so proud to laugh. However, you are not truly happy. What do you do in such situations? The first thing I would say is to prioritize. I learned something early in life, and I believe that is something that has really helped me. I look at things that are important, things that are urgent and important, things that are not important, things that are not urgent, things that are urgent but not important, and things that are none of both. And then I'm able to classify some of those things in order for me to know what I should be doing per time. So if at a time what you need is that financial stability, then you want to look at how to stabilize yourself emotionally while you are going through that and you are looking at the next place to move to. If at that time what you need is really your peace of mind. I once made a decision. I was in an environment where I was well paid. It was hospitality. But I had to close pretty late every day. I would drive on 3rd Mainland Bridge at past 10 p.m. My kids would be asleep before I'm back. My husband at the time was not in the country. And then I called my boss one day and I said, can I possibly, and I was working on weekends because that's what the industry demands, right? Can I possibly stop working on weekends so that I could just, and he said no. And I had to make that tough decision. Immediately I had to resign. Why? At that time, what was priority to me was family. So you cannot just look at someone else and say, oh, because this person did this or they said this is what I should do. So sit down, do the analysis of what is most important to you at that time. Is it the financial stability? Is it the emotional wellness? Which of them is most important to you? If by the time you are paid at the end of the day, you feel like, okay, then use that money to buy. Yes, they say money cannot buy happiness, but there are certain things that you can do that could give you some level of comfort, which will help you to alleviate some of those maybe negative experiences that you're going through. So as much as possible, sit down, prioritize, know what you need per time or what you want per time, and then be able to make informed decisions. And before making the decisions, you can also seek help. We've been emphasizing the role of mentors, mentorships, because at every point in time, you might not know what next to even do, particularly in a tough situation like this. If you reach out to a mentor, they might be able to guide you to say, you know what you're thinking about at this time is not the way to go. Why not look at it this way? Why not do it this way? So that guidance is able to come. And for me, I'm also very big on the God factor. Whether you are satisfied with it or you are not happy about it, it doesn't matter. God also gives direction. You also want to ask, how do I do it at this time? Where should I move to? I recall a time when I was critically ill because I was in a toxic environment. And when I was on the hospital bed, the cardiologist looked me in the eye and told me, you're pretty young. If you die today, all of these things that you are chasing, everything will still go on. At that time, I had to make a critical decision. I was in a toxic environment, so I left the job. So what matters to you per time would determine how you would react to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Dr. Ayodele, please, sir, do you have any other thing to add to that answer?
To be honest, she said it all. For me, it's a cost-benefit analysis standpoint. And you'd have to take out emotions when you want to make certain decisions. Not all decisions, even you will like. I've taken a pay cut at least once or twice because I had a particular goal. I think I was doing a lot of upstream oil and gas work in a particular firm, and a lot was now happening in power and gas. And I wanted to be an energy lawyer. I wanted to be rounded. Even though that first firm was bourgeoisie, they paid really good money, better than banks. You know, you'd get there in a few months, you buy a car, your bonuses were crazy. I'm sure those who know law firms may have a sense of where I'm talking about. But I left for a firm that was paying me at least ₦1 million less a year, maybe even more. Now, we talk about more than 10 years ago, right? So you can imagine what the exchange rate was and is now. So everything she said, I completely agree. But I think you would have to determine what your goal is. You'd have to do a cost-benefit analysis, and you need to take out emotions. And another thing you need to take into consideration is to know your personality type. I think that personality type is very critical. And I'll just say this point. If I'd married someone like myself, I will probably be where I was 10 years ago. But my wife is crazy. And I say this to people who know me. I say my wife is crazy. I think that this is where we can get to as human beings. He said, no, you have not even started if you are not there. And you know, you'll be shocked that at the end of the day, you can actually get there. You just need someone. If you are, it's not sanguine, it's not melancholy, it's not choleric. My wife is crazily choleric. It's that first thing that I think I am, right? Unless I absolutely need to do it, I will then do it excellently well. But if I don't need to do it and no one is dying, maybe there's really no need. If I can just stay here. So that's it. You'd have to do your analysis and determine what sort of person you are, what your goals are, a cost-benefit analysis, and you have to take out emotions. You know, I could have married someone else that'd be easygoing and everything, you know. So you'd have to be not emotional if you want to get to where you want to get to. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm going to come to you, Mr. Omodolapo Alawale. We'll need your insight on this question. The question says, digital skills are often mentioned as the future, but not everyone can afford a MacBook or stable internet. How can we realistically bridge the gap so more Nigerians can benefit? Okay, so we want to know, everywhere we go now, it's IT, it's AI, it's coding, it's this or that. But not many of us can get stable internet. In fact, don't let me shade any internet provider now. The rate at which we pay for data every month, the one you buy at the beginning of the month, does not even take you 1 week and it's done. So a lot of people don't have the amenities needed to really focus on these things and become a master at them. How do we bridge the gap to leverage on them whilst we don't have the resources, in quotes, in abundance?
Okay, thank you very much. Before I answer that question, I just want to add a 2 cents to the last question. Awesome. And it's around learning and earning. I mean, just like they've said, prioritizing what you need at every point in time. So I also advise, especially the younger ones, to say, when you're coming into the world of work, look at it as learning and earning. When you are in a particular organization and you're new and you're learning, but you're not really learning, right? You can still stay there. The best is to be learning and also be earning. But some people, you know, they're in organizations where they are earning, but they are not learning. If you are not retiring, I don't think that's what you should be doing. But just look at it. Learning, are you learning? If you are just starting a career, or just like Dr. Ayo said, he took a pay cut because he wanted to learn. So, I mean, that's just his 2 cents. To your question now, I would say that, I mean, one thing we need to also do more is to research, right? So one of the subsidiaries in my group is a fintech. And when I engage some of them on how they become who they are, apparently there are institutions where they would train you on everything you need to know in the area of tech. They will take a loan on your behalf. One of them is Decagon. You can check it out. So Decagon, if you don't have let's say you don't have an experience in tech and that's what you want to do, they would take a loan on behalf of, from Sterling Bank, I guess, and they will train you. And with that, you have what it takes. You get a laptop, you get everything that you need. And once you have that particular skill, you can be able to compete. You know, it's quite sad that, you know, I mean, the country is tough. It's tough. But in terms of bridging the gap, I'm pretty sure that, I mean, there are institutions, even, I'm sure Lagos State has one or two things they are doing in that area, around how these gaps can be bridged. What I would say is research, and also feel free. I mean, some of these things, using LinkedIn as a platform, when you have these things, casually reach out to people. I know people who have gotten not just jobs, relocated just based on LinkedIn, right? And I would also say that, again, there's a place of sacrifice. I understand that there are certain things that are not stable, but sometimes the little data you have, how is it being used? Right? How is it being used? Because it's very important that you know what you want and look for the right people. So if I look at the tech space you're talking about, if I go on LinkedIn and I see people who I admire, take it as a full-time job I want to reach out to 50 people. But you have to do it prayerfully. I mean, personally, I don't take away the God factor. With that, you can get connected to strategic relationship that will help. Sadly, I mean, we don't have the infrastructure in Nigeria, but we have to just make with what we have, right? So I would say that, I mean, strategic relationship, reach out to people, right? And be ready to pay the price. Sometimes, just like I said, the Decagon, they will train you, they will take loan on your behalf. I mean, that's, whether I like it or not, many people have fulfilled their dreams through that. But I'm sure that if you research more, there will also be other institutions like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Okay, so we're out of time, but there's a question I really, really want us to talk about. Can we do 1 minute each? Panelists, do I have your word to do 1 minute each? Please, sir, 3 more minutes. So I'll take this quickly. It says, we often hear Japa. How can you, as a young Nigerian, balance the desire to thrive abroad with the responsibility of building careers and innovations here at home? Knowing fully well that all you've worked for can all one day just be wiped out with inflation. How do you balance that? Going abroad, building something here in Nigeria. 1 minute each. Thank you. Anybody can start.
I'll draw what I want to say from the kind of thing that we're doing here today. We've gone on to talk about the father of the day here in Nigeria. All of his achievements, most of them, even reinvesting here in Nigeria. We have in this room today, as we speak, very special guests who have gone on to achieve great things. Things that even profiles, citations cannot cover. By the time you move closer to some of these people and you're able to see even the depth of what they do, you would see that despite the Japa wave or the Japa syndrome, as the case may be, there is still hope at home. One of the reasons Ambassador Summit is put together is to also continually reignite that hope that it is not until you are abroad before you can be above. You can be here and still make it. It all depends on how you approach it, what you do, how you invest what you invest in yourself, how you invest even your time, what you invest your time in. And I believe that here at home, here in Nigeria, there's so many of us in the room today that still have that Nigerian dream. And we still hold on to it to say that here we can make it, here we can thrive, Here we will not just survive but thrive, and here we will go on to doing even greater things. So I would like us to disabuse our minds to say, oh, until you travel, until you are working over there, before you can make it. There is hope here, and there are a lot of resources that we can still tap into.
Thank you very much, Ma.
So let me go next. I would say that, just to add to what Sha said, when they say a country is a developing country, it means that there are opportunities there, right? Compared to a developed country. So the fact that we are still developing, it means that there's so many opportunities here. I know the infrastructure not being in place and all, right? For me, again, the God factor is also very important. And I also see from the angle of this, where you hardly find the rich wanting to leave Nigeria, right? It means that there's something in this country. So when you go there, there's a ceiling. You might not be able to go above a particular ceiling. The most important thing is for us to look at the things in Nigeria and see where there are opportunities. There are many untapped areas. So the most important thing is just look at it, be guided by God, and you'll be assured that you would soar.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, in 1 minute, very quickly. A rat in Nigeria is a rat in Canada. A lion in Nigeria is a lion in the United States. I think that whatever you are within would always come out. You will see that there are poor people in those parts of the world because they were poor mentally inside. So it doesn't matter where you are. You may just be a more sophisticated poor person, because when your net worth is negative, you are poor. You have 500k mortgage, everything else you have is 200k, you are minus 300, you are poor. It's just that abroad, I always say to people, what distinguishes a poor person here from abroad is that there's cheap credit, there's social safety nets where they'll be giving you $500, which even shows you are poor. They're giving you $500 every month. Oh boy, you are poor, you are broke, take this. And there is good infrastructure. So for me, it's not a bad thing to japa, but you must know why. The why. Is it that you're going to get a particular skill and come and use it here? I'll round up with 3 people's stories. We will probably not have heard of Reverend Sam Adeyemi today. You know Dr. Sam Adeyemi, Reverend Sam, depending on how you know him. He's been my pastor for 20 years plus. So I know him as Reverend Sam. Most people know him as Dr. Sam. I don't know if you've heard the story when he wanted to japa and they didn't give him visa. Many years ago. You probably not hear about Dr. Sam today. 1, 2. Ogogo Akpata of Templars. For those who know Templars, you might think he's Olu, the guy on a bit of a big size. He's one of the firms I had worked in the past. And I worked there for many years. He's not the main guy, Ogogo Akpata. I used to say Templars, Ogogo Akpata is Templar. Everybody else is the S behind Templars. Right. I remember someone telling me a story. I was there then. One of his friends had jackpot 20 years before. At the airport, the guy was like this. When he got to Ogogo's house, he was like this. Anytime they bring out a new Range Rover, Ogogo is buying the next day, or is pre-ordering. Anytime they bring certain cars, I don't want LRS chasing him, so I'm not going to his lifestyle. He said he had the opportunity to run, but he thought he should stay. And a third person, now I've forgotten who it is, sorry. Now, so you'd have to choose. You can be a lion here, you can be a lion there. But like he said, and she said, there are problems here. When there are problems, you see the opportunity. Finally, I co-own a training institute that trains a lot of lawyers. We've trained over 1,000 lawyers. We only started 2 years ago. What did we see? We saw that law was getting to a point in Nigeria. A lot of reforms are happening. You know, you must get 5 CPD points. You must do an average of 2-3 trainings every year now to renew your license. Lawyers were complaining, oh, this is terrible, this is bad. We saw the opportunity to make a few tens or hundreds of millions every month training people with 30K. When you have 5,000 people come for your training, everybody else or most other lawyers saw problem. Why are they telling us to be training to renew our license? So what do you see? That's where I'll leave it at.
Thank you so very much. Can we celebrate Dr. Ayodele Oni one more time? Let's celebrate him like we enjoyed ourselves. We learned a few things in this session. Thank you so much. Can we also celebrate Mr. Omodolapo Olawale? Thank you so much, sir. Also celebrate our mama, Mrs. Grace Oyeni. Thank you so much, our panelists. We appreciate you this afternoon. Thank you so much.
A round of applause for the panelists and the moderator, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause. Well done. Very well done. Thank you. Thank you and well done. And you guys, well done for being attentive as well. A part of me felt that we'll probably be losing people, but interestingly, the crowd is even beyond my sight now. It's incredible. It's amazing, absolutely. We thank you very much for coming out today, everybody, especially our special guest of honor, Dr. Olorade, the daughter of the Chipo Chief. The Chipo, Mommy, I like if I smile. When I smile, I'm always happy. Mommy, the only problem you have is that you don't have a problem. Just keep smiling. There's no, we are with you. Thank you so very much for being here. There is a part for the awards and of course the grant presentation where you will be taking charge very shortly. We thank you so much for your patience, and as well all our VIPs as well. And speaking of VIPs, ladies and gentlemen, is in our midst the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the President of the most populous black nation walking on God's green earth, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, is here, well represented by the Special Assistant to the Special Assistant to the President on ICT development and digital innovation, the absolutely outstanding Mr. Tekoni Igoin Peter. Good afternoon, sir. A round of applause for Mr. President as he is well represented here. Thank you. We will be hearing from His Excellency very shortly. We'll be calling you very shortly to the stands to take a stand and say some few words. But first, ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned that Dr. Mrs. Ajoke Ogunson is a beautiful woman inwardly and outwardly. But I also didn't mention that she's an absolutely divine weapon of God's gospeling greatness here on earth. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, many people are not born with the gifts of singing. Some people force it, but to some people, it is effortless. Just like oxygen is effortless to man. Just like Rose is nothing without Royce. Just like MTN is always